Hi, and welcome to this tutorial on working with culture models. In this video, we'll look at how to apply culture models in your academic work and also look at the strengths and their limitations. Cultures are complex. We have national culture, organizational culture. We have religion playing into different cultures, but there's also family and small cultures. Culture is a fuzzy set of basic assumptions and values. Culture provides orientations to life and beliefs and policies shared by people in a specific group. This is how Spencer Oatley describes and tries to define culture. You can also take the image of an onion. Culture as an onion grows from the inside out, and in the center of the onion we have values and then norms and institutions, roles, heroes and stories, and on the outer level, behavior shared by these persons. It's important to be conscious of how we categorize a group of people and to be aware of the choices we make when we use culture as a reference point. Let me give you an example. If we have 3 teachers, one from the US, one from Germany, one from Switzerland, all living in Bern, and 2 of them enjoy sports while a third is more the music type of person, we could choose the category of nationality, and we see they come from different countries, so we would probably end up describing difference. However, if we choose the category they all live in Bern, we would probably find a lot of things that these 3 persons share, where they have lunch, the means of transportation, and etc. That's why this is such an important aspect. Culture models are mental representations shared by members of a culture. In this context, it's important to be aware of why we choose to describe a group of persons the way we do. Let me give you an example. If we take water and I'm a person drowning, my description of water will probably be quite dramatic and urgent. If I'm a surfer, it will be filled with positive adjectives and experiences and a very colorful language experience sharing my pleasure of this sport. If I'm a marathon runner and you give me some water, the way I describe water will be full of relief. This is the challenge when we work with culture. We need to be aware of our purpose and intention behind doing so. Culture models can be looked at like maps and reference systems. The more we zoom in, the more we lose the overall picture of the landscape, but we gain insight into detail. But maybe this detail does not speak for the whole countryside and landscape we're in, but for this particular area. When we zoom out, of course, the opposite happens. So the question is, how do we approach complexity? And which level of detail do we need? It's important that we keep this in mind when doing this research using culture models. When we look at the different researchers working on these models, we have some focusing on values, value orientations like Salomon Schwartz and Kluckholm and Strodberg. Fons Trompenaar and Edward Hall focus on communication aspects of culture, whilst others such as Geert Hofstede and Richard Lewis focus on dimensions of behavior. And then we have the Globe study and others that cover several aspects of these. When applying culture models in your academic work, be conscious to consult more than one model and theory. Choose the right level of detail, of generalization, or being specific. Consider the strengths and weaknesses or limitations of each model and be critical when using them. Apply, and that's important, apply your common sense, analyzing your findings with what you have experienced in life and what you come up with as solid answers. Here you see an overview of some strengths and limitations of these. Obviously, it's a strength that we have research evidence-based data to work with, and this data And models, they give us not only a way of grasping complexity, but it also gives us language and symbol to talk about this. And to close, I'd like to just point out the importance of verifying or being aware that some of the data available is of age, and be aware that even if it's presented very nicely and it's easily accessible, it does not make it more accurate than some of the other research and models available. So these culture frameworks provide us a toolkit with which we can work with culture and look and talk about culture. Thank you very much, and please don't forget to give a thumbs up to this video if you found it interesting, insightful or helpful.